Hello there, and welcome to Her Money Mindset, the podcast where we talk about all things money, mindset, and how our relationship with finances shapes our lives. I'm Courtney Schweingler, and I am so excited to have you here. This podcast is for women, couples, or anyone who wants to take control of their financial futures, transform the way they think about money, and finally break free from any limiting beliefs or fears surrounding their finances. Whether you're just starting out on your money journey, looking to build wealth, or want to get clear on your financial goals, this show is for you. Here on Her Money Mindset, we're diving deep into topics like budgeting, saving, investing, and everything in between. But we're not just talking numbers and strategies. We're digging into the real reasons why so many of us struggle with money in the first place. Our mindset around money plays a huge role in how we handle it, and it's about time we got real with it. I'll be sharing tips and tools to help you feel more confident in your financial decisions, but we'll also be exploring how your personal history, upbringing, and past experiences with money can influence how you manage it today. It's time to heal that relationship with money and make it work for you. So, if you're ready to shift your mindset, build the life you deserve, and start making money work for you, then you're in the right place. I cannot wait to take this journey with you. If you need some tools to get you started, you can grab my budget bundle, which is a $76 value that you can get for just $67 by buying the tools together. This bundle includes my budgeting template, 10-day money mindset challenge, and my 2-week budget boot camp. These tools are also available individually if one specifically meets your needs. And if you've made the decision to take back the control over the finances, now is the time to go grab that budget bundle and get these amazing tools to help you on your financial freedom journey. I'll have the bundle linked in the show notes and in the bio of any of my socials for you to grab today. And you guys, I am so excited to announce that my community for women wanting to work on their finances, feel less alone, and be held accountable is now open. I have named it Her Money Club, and this has been a complete passion project of mine, and I am so grateful that the time is finally here. So, inside Her Money Club, we will have different money themes each month, savings and no spend trackers related to the money theme. We'll have weekly money accountability check ins, exclusive podcast episodes, group coaching calls, and a community forum to ask and answer questions, and even more. I'll have the link for you to sign up today in the show notes, and I cannot wait to see you there. All right, now let's dive into this episode. Budgeting when you're tired, overwhelmed, or you just don't want to. So you might find yourself stuck in a constant cycle of sticking to a budget, then giving up, then going back to the budget, then having a random huge expense come up and make everything go out the freaking window. If this is you, listen up, because we're going to talk about how to budget even when the world is knocking you down or you just don't want to do it. Your financial future is so important, and I can tell you that and I can tell that you know that because you're here listening to this episode. First, I would like to acknowledge something that impacts all of us, but especially women, and even more especially those women who are also moms. Decision fatigue. If you spent all day making choices for your job, your family, your meals, your appointments, the kids' school events, picking up that prescription, and then by the time you think I should check my budget, your brain is like, absolutely not. So the issue with budgeting is it requires focus, reflection, and decisions. Even if it's just writing down what you spent yesterday, it still can tap into your mental energy. So that's why even if you know how to budget, it can still feel impossible and like it's the hardest, scariest thing in the whole world to do when your brain is just maxed out, can't handle anything else. So the next time you say, I'm just too tired to do this, I want you to hear me when I tell you this. That's valid. That's real. That is real life. And that is not weakness. So, this is why I teach so much about money mindset and flexible budgeting. We're not talking about rigid, like stick to it or fail rules, because that's just not how life is. That's not how real life works. So think about it like this. If your body is too tired to run a marathon, you wouldn't shame yourself, you would rest. And your finances need that kind of grace too. I personally have had days where I open my bank account and I instantly just want to close it again. I have days where I spend just because I want to feel better. I had a bad day and I really don't need to buy anything, but for some reason that feels like that's the only solution to what my problems are. And I've had days where budgeting feels like one more task and a never ending to do list. Trust me, I have been there. And that's why it's so important to build a money system that allows for your low energy moments. So set up a bare minimum system that becomes a habit for when you know checking in with your money is going to be a struggle. So doing this looks like setting a 10-minute timer, looking at the balance in your bank accounts, looking at what bills and expenses are coming up for the next 3 days. Make sure you have enough in each dedicated account to cover those, and quickly input your expenses into your expense tracker. That's it. Nothing in depth or requiring a lot of time and a lot of thought. Use a budgeting template that works for you. My budgeting template was made for weeks like this, and you can get it in the link in the show notes. It doesn't require perfection. It allows you to input those expenses easily, and it gives you that monthly calendar overview so that way you can check easily and see what's coming up. And if you haven't done my 1 month expense audit, that's a super light, non judgmental way to look at where your money has been going without spiraling into guilt. So, when you're in survival mode, the key is to stay connected. The goal is not to stay perfect, just connected. So, even if that just means all you can do is just listen to this episode and breathe, that still counts. You showing up still counts. The goal is not to be perfect, the goal is to be consistent. And you want to be connected with your money, you want to be connected with your budget so you know what's going on and you're not giving yourself so much of a break that you're breaking that habit that you've built up. So sometimes what's holding us back from finally sticking to our budget, or honestly, maybe even acknowledging that there's a problem, is fear, guilt, and shame. So, fear that if you actually open up that bank account and see the account balance, you'll actually realize how bad your spending has been lately. How you really do make good money, but you have nothing to show for it at the end of the day. Maybe you avoid looking at your budget because you feel nothing but guilt and shame and it's just too overwhelming to fix it. So you stay stuck in that same painful cycle. So I want you to understand that this is a human experience. This doesn't make you a bad person or less of a person because you don't have your finances figured out yet. What matters is that you're recognizing things need to change. You're showing up and you're doing the work to give yourself a better financial future. So let's talk about how to keep showing up even when every bone in your body doesn't want to. If you say things like, I messed up, I'm bad at this, why bother? Interrupt that cycle by saying these things instead. Replace shame with curiosity. Ask, why did I avoid this? Not, what's wrong with me? Remind yourself, my money is neutral. Looking at numbers does not define your worth. And say to yourself, today is a new start. If you've listened to my prior podcasts, you know how much I stress money mindset and how truly important it is to reframe your money mindset. So now that we've acknowledged the overwhelm, we've talked about survival mode, and we've worked through some of that budgeting shame, let's talk about what we can do with minimal effort. So when you're tired, the goal is not to rework your entire money system. So I'm going to give you small, low energy tools that can keep you on track without requiring a ton of mental energy. So the first one is going to be auto transfers. So this is going to be your best friend. This is one of the easiest ways to stay consistent with your money goals and remove decision making entirely. Set up an automatic transfer of $5, $10, or $20 a week into a savings account, maybe even a high yield one. You can do this once and be building your emergency fund without even thinking about it again. It's progress that happens even when you're exhausted. And if you use my referral link for SoFi in the show notes, you'll get a bonus just for signing up. And that little spark might be all the motivation that you need. Then, the next thing you're going to do is the one category budget focus. So instead of trying to manage every category in your budget, pick just one to pay attention to this week. Maybe it's eating out. Maybe it's your Amazon orders. Maybe it's groceries. Write it down in your notes app or use my budgeting template to track just that one thing. That is a win. We don't need you doing 100 things halfway. We need one thing that feels doable and manageable. And the third thing you're going to do is a simplified weekly check in. Every Sunday, or honestly, just whenever you can, take 5 minutes to look at three things: what money came in, what money went out, and what's coming up. That's it. No spreadsheets required unless you want them. You're just taking a breath and you're looking at your money without judgment. So I want to end with this. Motivation doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be hustly. It can be soft. Sometimes your why is just wanting to feel peace when you check your bank account, or to know that you'll be okay if something unexpected happens, or to finally stop starting over every few months. So I want you to ask yourself, just take a minute and answer this question in your head. What would peace with my money look like for me? What would peace with money look like for me? Would it mean checking your account without flinching? Having $1,000 set aside just for emergencies? Spending without spiraling into guilt? Hold whatever that vision is, even if it's small, in your head. That vision is what you're going to come back to when your motivation to budget and to stick to your budget fades. All right, you guys, if this episode felt like it was made for you and you felt like I was hitting a little too close to home, here's a few ways to take the next tiny step. You can do my 1 month expense audit. It's free. The link is in the show notes, and it is a zero shame way to look at where your money's been going with reflection and not regret. You can grab my budget bundle, which includes my budgeting template, 10-day money mindset challenge, and the 2-week budget bootcamp. You don't have to figure this out alone, you guys. And I'm so excited, like I just said at the beginning of this episode, join Her Money Club, you guys. It's only $12 a month, and it gives you a supportive, like-minded community of women doing the same work and will hold you accountable. And you can also start private one-on-one coaching with me. We will customize your budget to meet your lifestyle, we'll hold you accountable, give you long-lasting money tools, and get you on a path to financial freedom. I am super proud of you for choosing to show up and listen to this week's episode. And don't forget to use that link in the show notes to get signed up for Her Money Club. I'll see you there, and I hope you have an amazing week.